Okay, y'all. So, Game of Thrones season 1, episode 4. So, this season, this episode wasn't really nothing popping off for real. But we go to the Castle Black. Okay, John is introduced to Sam. So, Sam comes from a house. I forgot his last name or whatever, but he come from a house where his father just don't like him. Like, he told a story about how his when he turned 18, his father told him that he gonna take the black, and if he don't take the black, then they gonna have a hunt, right? He told him that in the hunt, he gonna end up tripping and falling, and he gonna end up getting off or whatever. And he said that it'll do nothing more than to please him to tell his mother about how much of a slip up he was at a hunt or whatever. Like, the father don't like Sam at all. He just don't like him. He said he's not giving him no titles or anything to his land or anything like that. Like, and the crazy thing is, like, Sam is one of the smartest ones at Castle Blacks. Like, his father is crazy to not give his son a chance for real. But yeah, so Sam and John end up, becoming close or whatever. So they inside the dining hall cleaning and goofing off. So they in there talking about girls or whatever. So Sam asking John, did he ever dealt with a girl before? So John was like, yeah, I had dealt with a girl or whatever. He was talking about how he had went and got with this girl Rosie, okay, from the whorehouse or whatever. And he was basically saying like the girl had stripped down butterball naked in front of him, but he couldn't do nothing with it because the whole time he was thinking about getting her pregnant because he don't want to get a girl pregnant and they end up having a baby and they have to take his last name because he's a bastard or whatever. So he like that's the reason why he ain't hit with the girl. So Sam was like, oh, so you ain't hit then or whatever. And they just start playing around and goofing off, and then their commander comes in and see them goofing off in there, and he like, oh, I see y'all in here having a whole bunch of fun, but y'all need to start preparing, get yourselves ready for winter because winter is coming. And then he started telling like his story about what happened in the last long winter that he remember beyond the wall and stuff. And it was like real deep or whatever. He basically just trying to tell them like, y'all playing around, y'all need to be preparing because winter is coming for real. So it's some other guys that was at the camp or whatever at Castle Black, and they was picking on Sam. So John six ghosts on them. On the guy was like, nobody touch Sam. Sam is off limits for real, basically. And if they do, he gonna get Ghost to get their ass. Okay. And Ghost is John's direwolf, by the way. So back in King's Landing, Ned is running around trying to figure out what was the last thing that John Aaron spoke to people about before his death and everything like that. He trying to find out what was going on. So the Grand Maester who was on the council with him, he basically said that John Aaron went to see a book, and then inside this book, it was just a bunch of like kings and lords and stuff like that, and their legacies and their children and different stuff like that that was in the book. And then he ended up getting led. Littlefinger, Lord Baelish had basically told him to go up to this armory or whatever because that's where John Aaron had went last. So Ned had went up to the armory to see what was going on while John Aaron would go up there. And then after, going up there and talking to the people in there, he found out that he was talking to Gendry, who is Robert Baratheon's bastard son. Okay. So he's finding out that Robert is tracking down all of I mean that Aaron was tracking down all of Robert's bastards or whatever. So Catherine is on her way back to Winterfell because Bran has woken up. Everybody know Bran is up now. It came out of his coma. So Bran is on her way back to Winterfell. So as she's on her way back to Winterfell, she's inside this little tavern barn. And guess who walks in? The person she looking for, who is Lord Tyrion. Okay, so Tyrion comes in there. He's greeting her. He basically clocked her because she was in there on low key and didn't want nobody to know it was her. But he basically clocked her for real. So then she got like all the guards that was loyal to her family and stuff like that to seize him as her prisoner and stuff like that. So now she's taking Tyrion to wherever. Okay, she got Tyrion as a prisoner because she said that she actually accused Tyrion of pushing her son out the window. Okay, so at King's Landing, they are doing jousting for the hand of the king, which Ned don't really care about the whole jousting thing. He's not even there. He's just running around doing whatever he's doing. He don't really care about the jousting or whatever. But they doing the jousting. So at the joust, Sansa and Arya is there, their nanny or whatever, and Lord Baelish is there, aka Littlefinger. So he tells Sansa this scary story about the Mountain and the Hound, who was brothers. Okay, the Mountain is the Hound's brother. The Hound is the one who had hunted down the butcher's boy in the past or whatever. So the Hound is the one that had hunted down the butcher's boy in the past. So he was like, yeah, when they was little kids or whatever, um, the Mountain had basically took the Hound's toy and the Hound had pushed him into some fire and burnt his whole face his face off, right? And he scared her and told her like, you better not repeat the story or else you gonna be in it with the Hound, like he gonna be coming for you next or whatever. And Sansa looking scared as ever, like, oh my gosh, like I ain't gonna tell nobody. I promise. Like, why would he tell that little boy that? And then back to Littlefinger, Lord Baelish, aka Littlefinger. So he likes Sansa's mom, right? And Sansa look a lot like her mother. And this is going to play like a lot of roles in future episodes or whatever. But Sansa looks a lot like her mother or whatever. So I think that he just doing that to try to get like a little close to her or to see where her head is or whatever the case may be. But yeah, he's still in love with Catherine because when Catherine came to King's Landing the day before or whatever, he hit her inside the brothel and all that. Like Ned really was about to beat the brakes off of him because, like, why would you bring my son in here? I mean, my wife in here to